show the camera right here. Show them the pictures, but we got to give everybody time to log in.
I can't imagine how this has been around for 20 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
Since 2001.
2001. What? 2001 was 20 years ago?
That's what this book said, the year, 2001.
It seems, I can't believe it was 20 years ago. It seemed like maybe it was 10 years ago. All right, people are joining for you to read. Oh, somebody else said they were born in 2001.
Interesting.
Right. What year were you born, sir?
I was born in 1992.
Oh, yeah.
But I hope one day I ever find a Disney Yearbook 1992. If I ever find it, that is.
Did they make one for 1992?
I've seen it on the internet, but I've seen it on eBay, but I dare not do that Ralph and Penelope nonsense like it's a game.
Maybe we can find it on eBay for a good price.
But we don't do that Ralph and Penelope nonsense.
No, we don't do that. We don't want to get our eBay privileges revoked. All right. So what are you going to read to everybody?
I'm going to be reading one of the stories from Disney Yearbook 2001. And here's one with Cinderella.
Ooh.
Birds of a Feather.
All right.
This is something I've never read before.
Well, we're all in for a treat.
I'm sure you all love it.
I hope we do.
Birds of a Feather. Cinderella had always been kind to animals. She always has.
Mm-hmm.
As a girl, she had helped her father feed the barnyard animals and spread seed for the songbirds and mice. It had been fun for them both. Unfortunately, when Cinderella's father died, many things changed. Her stepmother seemed to find a new way to be unkind each day. Goodness.
Oh, that's not good.
So it was no surprise when Lady Tremaine sternly called Cinderella into the parlor and made a cruel announcement. "We will be making some changes around here," Cinderella's stepmother said. "There will be no more handouts from this house." "What do you mean?" Cinderella asked. "I mean," her stepmother answered, "that there will be no more free food for creatures who give nothing in return. Everyone in this household will earn his or her keep." "Oh no, stepmother," Cinderella cried. "It may seem that the animals don't do anything to earn the food we give them, but that's not true. They are all useful to us." Lady Tremaine said, "You can explain that to me tonight. I'll decide which animals will eat and which will not." She waved Cinderella away. "Now get back to your chores." Lady Tremaine is not nice.
That's not nice.
Who does that witch think she is?
I don't know.
She even acts like a witch.
She does.
Cinderella sat down on the soft hay in the barnyard. Bruno, the dog, the songbirds, the mice, and the chickens all gathered around the horse's stall. "I know you're all important here," she said to them. "I just have to make stepmother see it." Sadly, Cinderella couldn't do that. The horse Lady Tremaine could see was needed to pull the carriage and the plow. The chickens supplied eggs. Bruno, she agreed, did serve as a watchdog. But with the songbirds and the mice she stood firm. "The wild birds and mice do nothing for us," she declared. "I can't keep them from nesting here, but as I said before, there will be no more handouts from this house." Goodness. In the days that followed, the estate grew quiet. The songbirds visited now and then, but they were usually too busy looking for the next meal. Even the mice weren't around much. When they were exhausted from their daily search for food. Cinderella wasn't the only one who noticed that the little animals were gone. A sneaky pair of magpies found out and began using the songbirds' nest. They weren't looking for food, so Lady Tremaine didn't object at first. But they were very loud and bothersome, chasing the chickens, annoying the horse, and upsetting Bruno. Sometimes Cinderella would catch them at a window, peering inside, and more than once she heard Drizella or Anastasia shooing the magpies away from the tree in front of the house.
Mm.
Goodness me.
Poor birds.
What are they up to? And let's see what happens next.
Okay.
Cinderella knew the magpies were up to no good. She was thinking about that one morning as she searched for her sewing thimble. Suddenly, she heard her name screeched. "Cinderella, where are my earrings?" shouted Drizella. "And I'm missing a bracelet," shouted Drizella. "And I'm missing a bracelet," Anastasia whined. "Something is going on around here." She squinted at Cinderella. Just then, the three girls heard a scream. Lady Tremaine rushed into the room. "Stepmother, what's wrong?" Cinderella cried. "My necklace!" Her stepmother shouted. "It's gone!" As she spoke, she was opening drawers and searching shelves. And as Lady Tremaine paced, the magpies landed on the windowsill. "I wore it yesterday," she said above their chattering. "Anastasia, Drizella, help me find my necklace." Then she turned to Cinderella. "And you, Cinderella, get rid of those awful birds." Gladly, stepmother, but how?" Cinderella asked. "I don't care how you do it," her stepmother shrieked, waving her hands. Find some help. Maybe those useless birds and mice you used to feed. Just get rid of those awful noisy creatures." Goodness me.
It's not very kind.
No, Lady Tremaine sure is not nice. Cinderella brightened. It was as if her stepmother had forgotten. She had banished the songbirds and mice. Maybe if they could help her get rid of the magpies, they could prove that they were useful to the estate. It didn't take long for Cinderella to gather the birds and mice. It took even less time to enlist their help, but getting rid of the magpies was another matter. They needed a plan. "Maybe we can figure out a way to scare the magpies away," Cinderella mused. After all, every animal's afraid of something. She turned and saw Lucifer curled up on his velvet pillow. "Every animal has a use," she laughed, "even Lucifer." The mice and birds looked doubtful. "I know. He won't help us willingly, but he's our only chance," Cinderella said. "Follow me, everyone. But be careful not to wake the cat." Under Cinderella's instruction, the mice carefully tied a harness of ribbon around Lucifer's pillow. Then gingerly, the birds struggled to lift him into the air, carrying him up to where the magpies were napping. "Lower Lucifer in front of their nest," Cinderella told the little birds. "When the magpies wake up, the sight of a cat should scare those pests away for good. We'll have Lucifer back on the ground before he even knows what's up." It would have worked as planned if Lucifer hadn't awakened too soon. Sprawling on the ground below, he let loose a yowl. The magpies awoke to see Lucifer, all claws and fangs, nearly on top of them. Goodness me.
Oh, boy.
Now let's see what happens next.
Let's see.
As the magpies flew off, the little birds fluttered quickly to earth. When Lucifer's feet hit solid ground, he took off running. He wasn't aware of the birds, the mice, Cinderella, or the role he had played in their plan. Well, that wasn't so bad. Cinderella laughed as she watched the magpies fly out of sight. She turned to see the songbirds swooping excitedly in and out of their nest. Now what's bothering them? She wondered. That night, Cinderella waited until the supper dishes were clear to tell her stepmother of the day's events. "Stepmother," she said simply, "the magpies are gone." Lady Tremaine glanced up. Good. And when the songbirds reclaimed their nest, they found a few interesting items. Cinderella said she held out her hands. In them were Anastasia's bracelet, Drizella's earrings, Cinderella's thimble, and I wonder what.
What?
Let's see.
Let's see.
"My necklace!" exclaimed her stepmother, snatching it from Cinderella. Cinderella smiled, saying, "Thanks to the mice and birds, we won't be losing anything else. I guess they earned their keep, right, stepmother?" "Very well," her stepmother answered without looking up. "Very well." Drizella and Anastasia glared at Cinderella. They didn't like the fact that Cinderella had proved her point. But if they argued with their mother, Cinderella didn't hear. By that time, she was halfway to the barn with a feast for all the animals to share. Wow.
Nice.
The end.
That's the end, huh?
Yes, it is. Isn't it something how those magpies that stole everyone's stuff?
Wow.
Luckily, everyone got them back.
They
which
did.
I'm glad they did.
I'm glad they did too. That worked out pretty nice.
In that story, Cinderella and her stepsisters, they looked younger.
They did, didn't they?
I'm surprised.
Yes. I'm
This is
surprised too.
something.
Lady Tremaine's not very nice.
No, Lady Tremaine isn't nice, and neither are Anastasia and Drizella.
Right.
It sure was sad when after Lady Tremaine's second husband died.
Oh, very sad. Very sad indeed.
Yeah, it was sad.
Do you want to read another book?
Yes, let's see what I can find.
Well, all right. I guess you can read for everybody. Hurry up, because they're waiting. You get yourself something good. You find something? All right, I hear you coming. Ooh.
Disney Countdown to Christmas, a story a day. So I'm going to be reading Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, A Christmas to Remember. It was a cold December morning. Snow White was out feeding the birds and her other forest friends inside. Doc gathered the other dwarfs. Christmas is coming, he said. What do you say we give Snow White a nifty gift? The dwarfs thought that was a fine idea, but what should they get her? Sleepy thought perhaps Snow White could use a new quilt for her bed. Sneezy suggested a lace handkerchief. Then Bashful spoke up. I have an idea, he said, blushing. Why not give her something from our minds? We could make her crown, Happy said. The next day, the dwarfs busied themselves at the mine. Meanwhile, in their little cottage, Snow White got ready for Christmas too. First, she made a tray of special cookies, shaped like bells and hearts and stars and Christmas trees. Then while the cookies baked, she went into the forest and cut down a dwarf-sized pine tree. When Snow White returned to the little cottage, it was filled with the smell of warm cinnamon and sugar. The smell was so delicious, it made Snow White quite hungry. But instead of nibbling on the freshly baked cookies, she laced them on ribbons and hung them on the little pine tree. Then she draped strings of berries on the branches and decked the cottage with holly and mistletoe. Snow White admired her handiwork. She hoped the dwarfs liked the holiday treats and decorations. When the dwarfs came home and saw the tree, they danced and shouted with delight. Merry Christmas, Snow White exclaimed. I'm so happy you like my surprise. We have a little surprise for you, too, Doc said. He took a small package wrapped in purple paper and tied with a big golden bow out of his cloak and placed it under the tree. No squeaking or peeking, he said. On Christmas Eve, Snow White cooked a feast of roast fowl all night. She kept looking at the package beneath the tree. Her stepmother, the evil queen, had never given her anything. Goodness. This was her very first Christmas present. At last, the meal was finished, and the dwarfs had washed all the dishes. Doc handed Snow White the small bundle. When she opened it, Snow White gasped with delight. Why, this is lovely. We made it, said Happy proudly. We hope you like it, said Sneezy. Snow White went to the mirror and put on the crown. Oh, thank you, she said. This is wonderful, and it is even more precious because you put your hearts into it. Shucks, it wasn't much, said Bashful. But it is, Snow White cried. You've made my first Christmas very memorable. Snow White wore the splendid crown all through the Christmas holiday. Then she wrapped it carefully and tucked it away. She hoped she would have another occasion to wear it soon.
Are you going to show the pictures?
The end.
Oh, that's the end of the story, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
Snow White is always my favorite Disney princess. I can't imagine she got a crown.
She got a crown. I would love to have a crown with jewels from my little friends.
Me
Would you
too.
wear one? Yeah?
I would.
Oh, wonderful.
Can you imagine Snow White's stepmother, the evil queen, had never given her anything for Christmas?
No, that's so sad.
I can't imagine such a thing.
I can't imagine such a thing either. That's very bummer.
Imagine how Snow White is the first Disney princess that started it all.
That's right. It is.
And it's something.
It is something.
At Goodwill, I tried to find a Winter Belle doll from 1992, but I couldn't find it.
You never know. We just keep looking.
And I tried to find my favorite sound story, Cinderella, from 1996, but I could not find it.
But you did finally find that VHS tape you had been looking for.
Yes.
So we had a successful trip, didn't we?
And I was at Goodwill. I tried to find some Disney princess toys for McDonald's that was there last spring. The ones I'm still missing. I'm missing Cinderella and Jasmine and Mulan and Tiana and Moana.
You like to go to the Goodwill, don't you?
And I try to find Golden Sound stories I'm still missing. The Golden Sound storybooks I'm missing, like the Cinderella I got. I'm still missing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and the Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. So what are we going to do tonight?
We're going to watch Home Sweet Home Alone.
I wonder if any of your friends have seen it.
Has anyone seen it yet?
It just came out today, didn't it?
On Disney Plus.
Right. So we're going to find it.
Yes.
Watch it. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining. He'll read again tomorrow.
Yes, I will read tomorrow. Thank you. Goodbye. See ya.